Hey guys, it's Dane with Global Media Summit. I'm here with my puppy. This is Casper. He's my brand new puppy. So say hello, Casper. Okay. Listen, I wanted to just share something with you guys. Think about this. In 1 Chronicles 21, it starts with these ominous words. Satan rose up against Israel and caused David to take a census. Okay, what's so interesting about this is that David was a new king, and for some reason he wanted to take a census, and he wanted to count the people that he ruled. But this wasn't God's plan, and I think it's interesting that it said Satan rised up against Israel. So, of course, we know it doesn't say, but I believe that David struggled with pride. He wanted to know how many people were in Israel. He wanted to know what was the scope of his kingdom, but without consulting the Lord. So God was not happy with this. And he basically said through his prophet, you have three options for punishment. 1, 3 years of famine. 2, 3 months of being destroyed basically by the enemy, or 3 days of plague. He chose the 3 days of plague because he did not want to fall into enemy hands. He felt it would be better to be in God's hands. So, but unfortunately, in 3 days, God sent the plague and took out 70,000 people. Okay, we're like, whoa, 70,000 people. But because David's sin was pride, and he was consumed with how many people, it's interesting that God took out 70,000 people from that kind of whole, summation of what he wanted to see. So I thought that was interesting. But here's the thing. We all have our weaknesses, and it might be pride, it might be something else, but we all have our weaknesses. We're all different. The Lord knows what those are. But the devil uses those to pull us away from our destiny, to pull us away from what God is calling us to do. So I've got planes overhead, but here's the thing. We really need to focus, especially in these days that we're living in. We need to focus on what God is calling us to do, to not get sidetracked by what the devil is calling us to do, and to really listen to the Word of God. Listen to what the Lord's telling us in our spirit. Now, here's the cool thing, is that I read in Psalms 91:4, it says that the Lord will shelter you with his wings. He will cover you with his feathers, and his faithful promises are our armor and protection. But then in Ephesians 6:10 through 12, it says that to put on the full armor of God so that we won't be tempted by Satan's strategies. And here's the thing. So if that's true, if we are to put on the full armor of God, now we know it's the breastplate of righteousness, the sword of truth, the feet should be shod with the preparation of peace. We know all that. We know all the pieces. But if the armor that is stated in Psalms 91 is his promises, his faithful promises, then we need to claim his promises daily. We know that in the Word of God, there are tons of promises. One of them is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I am the head, not the tail, above, not beneath. I'm a righteous child of God. And so when you claim those promises, when you live in his promises, that is his armor. Okay? So when you put on his promises, you're putting on his armor. All right? So think about that today. And listen, we need to be in the Word of God daily. Get it in our spirit. Speak it every day. And let those promises be our armor. All right? Take care. We'll see you soon. Ben Dane with Global Media Summit.